All right, Gemini, what is up? What it do? Guess what time it is? It's my favorite time of the month, man. It's time for the mid-month messages. So what I'm doing in the mid-month messages is I am checking to see if timelines have changed. Why the hell would timelines change? Good question. Because I like to give advice in my readings. And the reason why I give so much advice is because if you take the advice and you apply it, that could potentially change your timeline. That's the whole reason why I give the advice. All right, so for those of you who would like a personal reading, just check the description of the video. That's where you'll find everything you need to know. How was I doing this yesterday? I don't even remember. Okay, all right. I remember now. All right. Next person coming in. Let's see if Gemini is still on the same timeline with the next person coming in. What can we tell Gemini about who's coming in next? Let's see. Could be an earth sign for some of you. Some of you could be connecting with somebody at the workplace. Could be a Leo. I also have Sagittarius here. I'm getting a lot of workplace vibes here. So honestly, this kind of feels to me like, it's hard to say because I'm kind of getting two different types of energies here. Some of you don't know this person yet. Others of you do, but you just don't really think about them that way. Like maybe a new hire comes in at the workplace and you end up connecting right away. I think for a lot of you, though, you're aware of this person's existence, but you never thought of them that way. So, okay, I'm going to give my default example when it comes to this kind of situation. So imagine there's somebody at the workplace. You're aware of their existence. You know who they are, but they don't own any space in your head. You don't spend any time sitting around thinking about them. And then one day you and your family are out at the county fair and you're standing in line to get a funnel cake. And then you turn around and they're right behind you in line. It's like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Bam. From that point forward, we connected in a way I never would have expected. Now, I'm not saying that's how it's going to happen, but you feel the energy behind that type of situation. It's kind of what this feels like. You connecting with somebody you never would have thought you would have connected with like that. And like I said, I'm getting real strong workplace vibes here. I know that's not everybody, but could just be an earth sign or somebody with a lot of earth in their chart, possibly. It's going to be a very, very strange, well, not strange, but just the way the two of you are going to come together is going to be so brilliantly orchestrated that it's going to be very obvious that the universe brought the two of you together. Does that make sense? Let's look at their energies and intentions. What's some of the first things you're going to notice about this person? Ooh, okay. It could be a Pisces for some of you. Or I'm sorry, that's the High Priestess. I was thinking, I glanced at that and thought it was the Moon card for a second. Well, I guess it could be a Pisces for some of you since that just fell out of my mouth. But this person's kind of mysterious. For some of you, this individual may be a spiritual person. And you may not have ever connected with anybody that's on the same spiritual level as you. That's what this feels like to me. Feels like some of you are finally connecting with an awakened individual. I'm going to tell you what, one thing I see in my line of work that runs rampant is people who are on a spiritual journey in a relationship with somebody who's not. I don't see how y'all do it, man. I don't see how the hell anybody does that. But I see it all the fucking time. All the time. Anyway, though, I think a lot of you are going to be connecting with somebody that's actually on a spiritual path, too. Could be a Cancer for some of you. this person's not going to hesitate to open up and be vulnerable with you. You feel like you've known this person your whole life. And I think they feel the same way about you. So y'all are both probably telling each other, man, it feels like I've known you my whole life. And it's because you have. This person is a very near and dear member of your soul family. You have had many lifetimes in previous lifetimes where you've played very close, intimate roles in each other's lives in previous lifetimes. So there is a really, really strong sense of soul recognition, but both of you are acknowledging it. You know how a lot of times only one person will acknowledge that? Both of you are acknowledging it. You both feel it equally as intense. Could be a Leo for some of you. I do kind of feel like this person may be fresh out of a relationship, but they have no intentions of going back to a past person. And I don't think that's going to be a concern for you. I think you can tell that you don't have anything to worry about as far as that goes. Also, you and this person are connecting on a friendship level in a way that you either never have or you haven't very, very many times in your life. You're connecting with this. This is a very dynamic type of connection. The two of you may end up connecting on levels that you didn't even know existed. Because I think a lot of people never really get the chance to connect with somebody on all levels. So they're not even aware that those levels are there, you know? So, okay. Well, it's a little bit scattered, but looks pretty solid, though. Let's see how it plays out for the first 90 days. Oops. Cards jumping all over the place. How's it playing out for the first 90 days? How's it playing out for the first 90 days? Okay, Chariot reverse. It's going to be kind of slow. It's going to be a little bit slow. Yeah, it's going to be a slow, gradual transitionary process. Very, very sexual. So right as soon as you start thinking that things are moving kind of slow, they're going to pick up and start moving much, much, much quicker. Much quicker. Might kind of scare you a little bit too. Might kind of scare you because I think a lot of you are trying to make things move slow. And just as soon as you think you're getting the hang of how this is going, it's going to start moving real quick. Real quick. But I don't think I see anything bad happening as a result of that. I don't think so. I don't think so. But it is going to take an unexpected turn and start moving real quick between the two of you. Any advice? Advice for Gemini when the next person comes in? Any advice? What advice do we have for Gemini when the next person comes in? Don't abandon this when things start getting a little bit scary. It's going to require some faith here. Now, I'm not saying ignore really obvious red flags. Okay. And I don't think there's going to be any, but when I say this, when I say don't abandon this when things get a little bit scary, that doesn't mean if you find a crack pipe in this person's underwear drawer, ignore it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the little silly shit, you know. It's dynamic in a way that you've never experienced before. The energy feels a little bit different than anything you felt before. But this person checking off all the boxes, they're very consistent. Everything checks off. There's a lot of people, believe it or not, that sit around and talk about how bad they want that, but they don't understand what it would actually feel like to be in that position with a relationship that's actually healthy. So once they find themselves in that position and it's a reality, they freak out. And they're like, oh, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. Pew, they bounce. Don't do that. Don't do that. Also, slam the door shut on any other potential love interests. If you go into a relationship with a backup plan, I promise you it's going to fail. I promise you. If you're with somebody and you're interested in this person, it's going to fail. It's going to fail. It's not if, it's when. It's eventually going to fail. So whoever you're with or whoever you're thinking about or whoever you're focusing on, you have to have all of your focus on nobody on this planet but that person. Okay? All right. What was I doing next? Oh, yeah, okay. Where's it at? Oh, okay. Current person. Current long-term relationship. If you're not in a long-term relationship, or if you are, and there are no serious problems, issues, or concerns, this is not for you. Have timelines changed between Gemini and the current person? If they changed, did they change for the better or for the worse? How are things looking between Gemini and the current person? Current long-term partner. Ooh, communication is horrible between the two of you. You two do not speak the same vibrational or emotional love language at all. Some of you with a Virgo also have Sagittarius here. This is definitely a codependency connection. Definitely. I don't know who it is that's bringing that energy to the table, but somebody is emotionally codependent. Somebody is. Now, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. I want to avoid that. I know you don't want to hear me go down that rabbit hole. I don't feel like talking about it, so I'm going to steer around that for now. All I'll say is there is a lot of codependency energy in here, and that is withering away at the connection between the two of you. But if it comes out again, I'm going to have to go down that rabbit hole. I don't want to either, y'all. I promise you. Anyway, though, there's a lot of trust issues here. Somebody, one, the other, or both of you seriously has trust issues. I don't know who it is. It's not telling me who it is. But with the Seven of Swords, Devil card, somebody suspects infidelity. Somebody highly, highly suspects a third party. Okay. But honestly, so far, it is looking like this person does love you and want to be with you. I just don't think they trust you. That honestly, these energies could go both ways. But the way this feels immediately is it feels like this person loves you, but they don't fully trust you for some reason. I don't know why. Have you done something to betray their trust? Or are they just projecting? I don't know. Let's look at their energies and intentions at the deepest level. What are their energies and intentions at the deepest level? What fucking deck do I want to use, man? How about this one? What are their energies and intentions at the deepest level? They kind of feel like the type of individual that pouts and throws fits when they don't get their way. Are they being a little bit pouty? Oh, well. Okay. No, yeah. See, they're not 100% sure if you're committed to this. But here's the thing. I don't have the card for it. So I almost don't want to say it, but I'm really strongly feeling like there is just a little bit of projecting going on in there. A little bit of projecting. Because I think this person is thinking about what other options are out there that they could be missing out on. So usually when somebody starts accusing you of something, it's because that's what they're doing, right? So I think there is some projecting going on in here. They don't really want this to come to an end, though. But at the same time, they also kind of feel like the connection between the two of you is expiring. With both of the karma cards in the upright, they feel like y'all are just looping around in a cycle. Things aren't moving forward. Things aren't progressing. It feels like the soul contract has expired. But they don't really want it to come to an end. But at the same time, they're also wondering what other options are out there at the same time. So it's kind of weighing on them. All right. Some of you dealing with a Libra. Who else do I got? I got Taurus and Scorpio here. All right. Well, let's see the outcome. Will you stay or will you go? Do, 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 do. What's the outcome? Okay, a repeat cycle. Y'all are working through this. Yep, you're holding on to this. You're hanging in there, trying to hang on to this. Y'all are trying to work through this. So it looks like October through November is going to be another repeat cycle of August through September. Okay. At least y'all are trying to work through it, though. What's the advice? What's the advice? Okay. All right, we got to get these trust issues in check. We got to get these trust issues in check. Now, for those of you being accused of something, okay, so there's two groups of you. Group A is the group of you who have honestly done nothing to betray this person's trust. Nothing at all. You haven't looked at nobody. You ain't talked to nobody. You ain't been doing nothing sneaky behind their back. You ain't done nothing. Group B, y'all probably have done something to betray their trust. Okay? So even if you didn't cheat, flirting with people, being sneaky, doing little shit behind their back, okay, well, that's your problem, Group B. I mean, you're going to have to go inside and figure out what's wrong with you in here. Now, Group A, I'm talking to Group A, though. You ain't done nothing. Ain't done nothing. You've been walking that fucking line behind everybody's back. You know, nothing tells you what kind of person you are like what you do when nobody's watching. If you do the right thing when nobody's watching, that's when you're a good person, right? So if that's the case, and you know you can go to sleep at night and tell yourself you ain't done nothing fucking wrong, fuck them. Fuck them. That's your problem, then. I ain't gonna put up with that. No, I ain't done nothing. I have not given you the slightest bit of an inkling of a reason to not trust me. So at the end of the day, that's your fucking problem. Staying with you while you don't trust me when I know I've been walking the fucking line, at the end of the day, I'm disrespecting myself. I'm disrespecting myself. That's disrespectful to me to hold on to somebody that doesn't trust me for no fucking reason. So the trust issues got to get put in check. So Group A, either, I don't know what to tell you on that. But yeah, Group B, hey, if you've been doing a little sneaky little bullshit behind their back, you might want to get that in check. I want to get that in check. All right. What's next? Oh, yeah. Okay. Past person. Person from the past. If you're not inquiring about somebody from the past, this is not for you. Could be anybody. Could be your ex, a one-night stand, a potential love interest, a relationship that never got up off the ground. The person Gemini has a past history with. Let's see. King of Cups reversed. I think this person has feelings for you that they don't want you to know they have feelings for you. Yeah, see, they absolutely got feelings for you. They don't want you to know about that, though. They don't want you to know that. But honestly, their love life has not been very successful since y'all parted ways. So I do think it is coming to a point where they're thinking about making an appearance in your life. They're thinking about it. They're probably doing things to try to get your attention. But so far, I'm not 100% convinced that they're actually coming forward. They're thinking about it, though. They're thinking and they're planning because they can't find nobody else. Or whoever they left you for done dumped them on their ass. Whatever. All right. And I think that's what you're intuitively picking up on, isn't it? A lot of you are intuitively picking up on, you think they're going to show up in your inbox any day. Any day. Well, you're partly right. What you're picking up on, you are picking up, they're throwing a lot of energy at you. They're thinking about it. They are seriously contemplating it. I would even go as far as to say, for some of you, that they every now and then start typing a message out to you and then delete it before they send it. All right. Okay. Well, let's see how they feel about you at the deepest level. How they feel about Gemini at the deepest level. 8 of Cups. Well, they're trying to forget about you. They're trying to. They're a lot more heartbroken about this than they're letting on. I think they low-key obsessed with you. I think. But they are walking away from this because they don't want you to know how they feel. Because in their mind, and I have to phrase that very emphatically, in their mind, they feel like if you know how they feel, you'll assume power over them. They don't want you to think you have any kind of power over them at all. So they would rather walk away and torture themselves than let you know how they feel. Oh, hang on. Okay, well, some of you dealt with a Capricorn. I also have Leo, Taurus, Leo again. Okay. Well, let's see if they take an action. I'm only going to pull like 3 cards. It really doesn't look like it, but let me just double check just in case. Because, man, they so close. But I feel like they too up in their ego. They be too up in their ego. Now they're holding back. They're resisting temptation. That's what I thought. Yeah. No, they're too scared, too nervous. Okay, what's the advice? Would it be a good idea for Gemini to reach out to this person? What's the advice? 7 of Pentacles. Well, you really, really, really want to genuinely stop and think as to whether or not it's worth it. Because I'm going to tell you what right now. If I was you, and I think I already gave you all this advice, so this might just be the same message. But if I was you, I would start off, I would close out 2024 by writing this person a closure message. Now, that doesn't mean you're never going to talk to them ever again. but write them a closure message just to release the vibrational baggage so that you can guarantee that you're taking a better timeline when we step into 2025. Because any vibrational weight that you're carrying into 2025 is going to make it difficult for you to carve out a new timeline. Let's close this out first. Now, I'm going to tell you what, right goddamn now, you write this person a closure message, they're probably going to try to turn it into a game. They probably are. They're probably going to start nickel and diming you, breadcrumbing you, you know, ignore it. Just shoot them a closure message, and I don't care how they respond. I don't care what they say. Don't respond. And let that sink in for a little bit, at least for the rest of 2024. I wouldn't respond or say anything beyond a closure message for the remainder of 2024. Then once we step into 2025, you're on a newer, higher timeline. The energies are changing drastically and dramatically. Then ask yourself if you're even interested in having this person in your life. Ask yourself that. Now, that is an open-ended question. I am not alluding to one thing or another. Some of you will, some of you won't. But cross that bridge when you get to it at that point. Because even if you did want to reconcile with this person, you still have to close out the old cycle first. If you don't, and you bring that old energy back to the connection, the same thing's going to manifest. All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Gemini family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you, Amanda, for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you. And I appreciate all of you who tuned in, played along, and showed love, support, and positive feedback. That's what makes my job worthwhile here on YouTube, y'all. I greatly appreciate you. Don't forget to check the description of the video if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. And I'm out of here now. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Stay blessed.